Good morning, class. I'm Specialist Resta, and today we will go over task number 071 Charlie Oscar Mike 1008 Measure distance on a map. Before beginning this class, let me take care of some administrative work. Overall risk level is low. A few hazards that we need to discuss today are fire. There's a fire extinguisher next to the door in case of fire, and the route of the building is labeled to your left in case you need to look at that. And our rally point in case of fire is going to be behind the dumpster next to the building. Second, COVID, please keep your mask on and try to maintain 6 feet distance between each other if you could. Third one is active shooter. In case of active shooter, we will run, hide, get out of the way, and fight if it comes to that. Finally, environmental consideration. We will follow Army Green policy: reduce, reuse, and recycle. I would appreciate if you guys help me police call later and pick up all the papers and garbage. Moving ahead, before I start teaching this class, we are going over our initial PCC and PCI. So I would appreciate if you guys could take out your pen, paper, water source, and ID. I'm going to check those individually and annotate on my list. Thank you. That's taken care of. Now we're going to actually me teaching this class. Again, the task number is 071 Charlie Oscar Mike 1008 measure distance on a map. Conditions. You are a member of a squad or a team in the field environment and have been directed to determine the distance between two known points. You have a 1 to the ratio 50,000 scale map, a strip of paper with a straight edge, and a pencil. You have been shown the beginning and ending points on the map. Some iteration of this task should be performed in MOP 4. Just a side note, we will not perform any of this iteration in MOP 4. Standards. Determine the straight line distance between 2 points with no more than 5% error, and road curved line distance between 2 points with no more than 10% error. Alright, note. The first one would be identifying the graphic bar scale on the map. I'm going to read you the note. The graphic scale is a ruler printed on the map and is used to convert distance on a map to actual ground distance. The graphic scale is divided into 2 parts. To the right of the zero, the scale is marked in full units of measurement and is called the primary scale. To the left of the zero, the scale is divided into tenths and is called the extended scale. Most maps have 3 or more graphic scales, each using a different unit of measure. When using the graphic scale, be sure to use the correct scale for the unit of measure desired. Okay, step 1. Identify the graphic bar on the map. So that's going to be this scale. That looks like that on your map. 2 is determine straight line distance between the given point A and point B. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay a straight edge paper on the map so that the edge of the paper touches both points that are given, point A and point B, and extend past them. So let's make a tick mark on the edge of the paper at each point, and then we move this paper down to the graphic scale that I showed you. Align the right tick mark with the printed number in the primary scale so that the left tick mark is in the extended scale. Note, the primary scale determines the distance to in thousands meter interval. If the distance between tick mark is greater than the scale determine the 1,000-meter interval, use the primary scale. Then use the extended scale to determine the remaining interval. The extended scale is numbered with 0 at the right and increases to the left. When using the extended scale, always read right to left from the 0 left to the beginning of the right shaded area in 100 meters. So now 2 is measuring distance along a road, stream, or a curved line. For that, note, in order to avoid confusion concerning the point to begin measuring from and the ending point, an 8-digit coordinate should be used for both starting and ending points. Okay, let's take that straight piece of paper, place the tick mark on the paper, and map at the beginning point from which the curved line is to be measured. Align the edge of the paper, the line you take, of the paper along the straight portion and make a tick mark on both map and the paper. With the edge of the paper, leave the straight portion of the line being measured. Next step would be keep the tick mark on the paper and map together. Place the point of the pencil close to the edge of the paper on the tick mark to hold it in place. Pivot the paper until another straight portion of the curved line is aligned with the edge of the paper. And then we repeat few of these steps until we reach to the end points. So we move the paper to the graphic scale at the end of this. So if you look at it, I have multiple tick marks. So you take the beginning of the tick mark and the end of the tick mark, and then we measure the distance between A, the beginning of the tick mark, and the end of the tick mark. Now with the scale over here, and then we measure the distance. We write the distance just for our purpose. So that's that. I hope everybody got it. Do you guys have any questions on this demonstration? No? Okay. I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes to practice, and then if you have any question, let me know. Okay? Yeah, go ahead, begin. Okay, that was the 15 minutes of practice. Is there any questions? Okay, sounds good. Since there's no questions, we are going to actually move ahead with the evaluation. For evaluation, I have to reinstate the task conditions and standards for you guys again. So let me do that real quick. So this is task number 071, Charlie Oscar Mike 1008, measure distance on a map. Condition: you are a member of squad or team in the field service, in field environment, and have been directed to determine the distance between two known points. You have 1 to the ratio of 50,000 scale map and a strip of paper with a straight edge and a pencil. You have been shown the beginning and end point of the map. Some iteration of this task must be performed in MAV4. Just a side note, we will not perform any of the iteration in MAV4. Standard: determine the straight line between 2 points with no more than a 5% error, and the road curved line distance between 2 points with no more than a 10% error. There's no note for the task statement for this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate one member of the squad with this. Let's see. Let me evaluate you, Zorn, if that's okay. Okay. Zorn, you are a go, because we're running out of time. Since only 2 individuals successfully passed the evaluation, so we have 2 trained individuals and 6 untrained. Thus we have to retrain and retest time, location, and uniform and date. I'll give that to you right now. Our retraining time is 0900 and 1300. Date is 2 days from now on 19th August 2021. The location is building 23. and rule number is 136. For the uniform, it's going to be a duty uniform, it's regular OCPs. So let me just need to take care of accountability of all the equipment that I gave you guys. So let us just do a police call around the perimeter. Okay, I've verified all my training equipments are good to go. Next for us is going to be our PCC and PCI of our equipment. So that's good. I have that. Let me take out. Okay, and I do want you guys to take out your pen, paper, water source, and ID again. I'll have to check those individually again and mark it on my sheet. I have that. Okay. Okay. So our PCC and PCI is complete. We're going to move on to our AAR. Let me pull out my AAR paperwork and record everything. Okay. To start the AAR, we are first going to go through some rules and goals. First thing first, everyone has the right to speak, and I want to encourage maximum participation. Please do not talk over each other, and always be respectful of different point of view. Okay, so first thing we're going to start is what was supposed to happen. Let me read the outline for you for what was supposed to happen. I was supposed to greet, introduce myself and the task, brief deliberate risk assessment, brief PCC items to students will need to be completed, who's going to complete the task, state task condition and standard verbatim, give you step-by-step instructions, demonstrate each step in detail, adding additional information necessary to clarify performance steps and performing measures, ensure all notes, caution, and warning are stated in the order that they appear in the steps. Brief the practice scenario and instructions. Give you time to practice. End the practice and restate standard task and conditions. Brief the evaluation procedure to the squad. Inform the audience if anybody failed or passed the evaluation or when it's over. Record the result as I did. State, retrain, and retest time, date, location, and uniform. Conduct a police call. Conduct PCI of the training aid. Request to close out the training site and turn in the paperwork. So that was the outline. So moving on, what actually did happen? So I'll let you guys answer that. Next, that's good. So we're done with what actually did happen. Let's go to what went right and what went wrong. Thank you for the suggestion. And what can I do to improve this brief, the set of instruction? Thank you all for your feedback. I really appreciate it, and I'll see if I can implement this in the future. So in summary, we went through what was supposed to happen. I read you guys the outline. You guys told me what actually happened, and we went through what went right and what went wrong. Lastly, what I can do to improve the training. How do I keep this sustained, and how do I fix what went wrong? So moving on to the next step, was anybody injured during the training? And were all the controls implemented effective? Since I can see no one was injured, so we can state that all the controls were correctly implemented. I would like to thank you all for coming and participating in this event. I hope you guys learn a great deal. I'll wrap up my paperwork before ending the evaluation. So let's give me a couple of seconds here to just put my paperwork in order. Thank you again for participating. Since there's no follow-up instructions, I will release you back to individual instructions. This concludes my training. I would like to request to close out my training site for today. Thank you.